Good evening, everyone. This is Bremster, and tonight I'm coming to you with what is going to be the final puzzle I record before I go on holidays. I do have the intros to record for all of the stuff that is coming. So, yes, for the next 9 days, you're going to be looking at a series of videos on the Save the Galaxy puzzle adventure. This was the puzzle adventure that was released on my channel in February. Actually, or was it released in? I think it was released in February, and it was 9 puzzles. They were all designed to be approachable, although I will say when I was recording the videos, there was one setter who had set a puzzle that was a little bit harder than I remember. That Bremster guy. Yeah. So those will be coming out one a day. The Save the Galaxy puzzle adventure that will be linked to in the videos that will come out starting tomorrow. And there is a story that goes with each of the puzzles. So what I recommend is that you would download the puzzle adventure, and rather than just work through it, go through it as I release the videos, but read the story. I'm not going to do the story in the videos because I'm not that good a performer. You'd be better off if you do it in your head. But if you read the story and then do the puzzles when they come up in the story, I think that would be a nice way to do it. Or if you just want to watch the videos, read the story and then watch the video when it comes up in the story. And yeah, that's what will be happening while I am away. I've spent a fair bit of time recording, and then I'm going to edit it all together and try and make it work. I don't want to just not do content, and I know a lot of you will have already done some of these puzzles, but honestly, I think I've gotten something like 800 new subscribers since I released that, and there are a lot of people who watch who are not subscribed. Please hit the subscribe button. It really does make a difference to the way YouTube advertises my channel and promotes my videos. And you know, the more I do that, the more likely people contribute puzzles to me, and the more I can do this. So yeah, if you follow along, I imagine that there'll be some of you will have done it, but not all. And yeah, hopefully that'll be good. Let's do this last puzzle before I get to go on a long holiday. Though I will still have content for you, hopefully, every day. Battenburg Killer by MavericksJD, who was one of the people who created puzzle for Save the Galaxy. But this was sent to me as... I have mentioned that we're working on a killer puzzle pack. And this is a puzzle that Maverick said he was considering for the pack, but having completed the puzzle, he thought it would be more appropriate for a video. So he submitted it to me, and I trust Maverick. So he says it's going to make a good video. I'm going to try it as a video because I needed something just for that last kick to get me over while I'm frantically working, recording 16 or preparing 16 videos in a few days. It's a lot of work. Anyway, let's have a look at this. So how does this work? Normal Sudoku rules apply. In every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 will be placed without repetition. There are killer cages in this grid, which means that the digits that are placed in the cages must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage. Digits cannot repeat within a cage. I don't think I put that in the rules because I didn't see any cages that had that, but this cage, it actually matters. Yes, digits cannot repeat within a cage. These little brown checkerboard patterns that are touching these cells are Battenburg marks. Wherever 2 odd and 2 even cells form a 2 by 2 checkerboard pattern, a marking is given. And what that means is, let's use this one because it's out of the way. If those cells were odd and those cells were even, that would mean that that is a Battenburg pattern. So we've got a checkerboard pattern. The other way that could work, of course, is if those were even and those were odd, that is also a valid Battenburg pattern. So anywhere that pattern exists, one of these markings is given. If no marking is given, that pattern cannot exist. So there is a negative constraint. And with that, this puzzle is apparently solvable. Let's give this a shot. Okay, I was literally 90 seconds into the solve when I got an urgent message from my parents and I had to take that call. So rather than do an interrupt and everything, I thought I would just restart the puzzle and I would just go through the first 90 seconds again. So it was only 90 seconds. So let's give this a shot. So, what I had found is fairly quickly a 24 cage is a 789. It's the only way to make a 24 cage in 3. This is also a 789. It's the only way to make a 24 cage in 3. When you have a 7-8, can't use a 789 for a 15 cage. The maximum digits you have are 4, 5, and 6, which sum to 15, and that leaves these as 1, 2, and 3. I found that fairly quickly. The thing I was exploring when I got interrupted was this cage, and I didn't find it the elegant way, but I did find the trick eventually, which is this cell here has to Battenburg to that cell, that cell, that cell, and that cell, which means there are 5 cells of the same parity in box 5, so they have to be odd and they have to be even. And that's basically where I got up to when I was interrupted. The way I'd found it was I'd sort of coloured this cell because I saw that there was a lot of pressure in this box. I'd coloured this Battenburg, and then I'd sort of extended it and realized I had 5 of the same parity, and then I realized that this cell was going to Battenburg to 5 locations. So this was the result that I found, and this is where I got up to when I got interrupted. So, of course, what I can do is I can extend these Battenbergs. So that's going to be odd and they are going to be even. That is going to be even and they are going to be odd. That is going to be odd and that is going to be even. That is going to be even. That is going to be odd. That is going to be even. That is going to be odd. That is going to be odd. That is going to be even. That is going to be even. That is going to be odd. That is going to be odd, and they are going to be even. And that, there's 4 evens in that column, so they are both going to be odd. And that's where I run out of Battenburg clues. But I can use the negative constraint here. That has to be odd, because if it was even, I would need a Battenburg mark there. So that is odd, so that cannot be 8, which means 8 is in one of those 2. Now, I can't use the negative constraint here. Well, I can use it here. If this was even, then this would need a Battenburg mark and doesn't have it. So that's not even, that is odd. And that being odd means, of course, this is the 8 and this is not the 8. Okay, so this is even. So I was able to use the negative constraint there and there, even though I couldn't use it there. Can also use it here, because if there's no Battenburg mark, that has to be odd, so this is not 8. But I can't use it here because one of those is 8, but it could go either way because the Battenburg is already broken here. And this could either go odd, even, or both odd or both even. So, This is odd, because one of these has to be odd and one has to be even, because if they're both the same, this would be an even total. So one of those has to be even, so this has to be odd, because that'll give me the 4th even in the column. So what is next? That's a 7-9 pair. So that's an 8. And that is not an 8. So that is odd and that is even. Two of those are going to be even, so I can never get a Battenburg pattern here. So it doesn't matter what I do there. That is odd, so that's not a 2. That is an odd and an even for the Battenburg. That is an odd and an even because of the odd total. So that cell right there is odd. That is an odd and an even for the Battenburg pattern, which means I've got all 4 evens. They are both odd. Once there is an odd in a 14 cage... Yeah, this has to... If this was even, this would be an odd total and it's an even total, so that is odd. This can't be a Battenburg pattern, so that has to be odd. There is an even and an odd down here. This can't be a Battenburg pattern, so that has to be an even. And this can't be 2 evens, or that would be an even total, so this is an odd. I can sort this out. This has to be an even and an odd for this Battenburg pattern. But if I go odd even, then this is a Battenburg pattern, but there's no mark there. So I can't go odd even, I have to go even odd. So where you've got Battenburg pattern, no Battenburg pattern, Battenburg pattern, these have to match. So this has to be even, this has to be odd, this has to be even, this has to be odd. And I've got the same here. This has to be an even and an odd, but I can't make a Battenburg pattern here. So this has to be even, this has to be odd, which means this has to be odd and this has to be even. This has to be even, this has to be odd, this has to be even, this has to be odd. I can't make a Battenburg pattern there, so that has to be even and that has to be odd. And I've got it here as well. I cannot make a Battenburg pattern here, but I need an even and an odd here. So this has to be even, this has to be odd, this has to be even, this has to be odd for the Battenburg here, but I couldn't make a Battenburg here. That's an even total. If I put an odd cell in there and I've only got 1 left in the box, that would be even, even, odd, which is an odd total. So in order to maintain evenness, I would need 2 odds, and I don't have 2 odds. They are all even, and that is odd. There is an even here because of the Battenburg pattern, so that's 4 evens in the row. That is odd. To maintain oddness of this, that is even. I can't do a Battenburg here, so that is even, that is odd, that is even, that is odd. That is brilliant. I can't Battenburg here, so that is even. Can't make that an even total, so that has to be odd. I've got all 4 evens in the box. They are both odd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 odds in the column. That is even, so that is not a 5. I got 5 odds in the row. That is even. That is not a 5. This is a 5 and becomes odd. I was worried for a minute there I'd made a Battenburg pattern, but I haven't. One of those is a 2. I'm not sure how I determined that, because I'm not making a Battenburg pattern anywhere there. Eight is in one of those 2. Oh, these cages, of course, they're going to be very restricted. So, for example, 18 with 3 even digits. If I don't use an 8, I've got 2, 4, and 6. 2, 4, and 6 is 12, so I must use an 8. Once I use an 8, I need 2 digits at some... This is 4, 6, and 8. Why is it 4, 6, and 8? So this is a 2. These are 4 and 6, so these are 2 and 8. This is 4, 6 and 8. These are 2, 4 and 6. Now, if this is 2, this is 7. If this is 4, this is 5. If it's 6, it's 3. Can't be 7. This can't be 7 because it sees both of those. So this is not 7, so this is not 2. That's a 4, 6 pair. This is a 2. This is not the 2. This is the 2, and I finally have the last even oddness. This is a 1, 3 pair. So these are 5, 7, 9 and must contain a 5. So this is a 1 or 3 because I can only put a 1, 3 or a 5 in a 7 cage. I can't do a 7 or a 9, and I can't use the 5 because the 5 has to be over here. So this is 1 or 3. So this is 6 or 4. That's a 4, 6 pair. This is an 8. This is not an 8. This is a 2. This is a 4 or a 6. That 8 now has to go there because I can't put it in any of those. Those are 2, 4, and 6, and that is not a 2. 2, 4, and 6. That can't be a 2. If that's a 2, that's an... This is so cool. 4 would go with 9. 6 would go with 7. So this is a 7 or a 9. Oh. 8 has to go in one of those two for the row. So this is not the 8 because of that 8. That's a cleverer way of doing it. No one ever accused me of being clever. So... Oh, this 2 is taking 2 out of there. So that's a 4, 6 pair. That's the 2. So this is the 8 and this is the 2. 8 is now in one of those. Oh, this is not the 8. This is the 8 because of the 8 in box 8. So that's not the 8. This is the 8, which means this is the 8. 8 is with a 5. And that works. This 11 cage. 911 doesn't work. I can't put a 9 in an 11 cage. So that's now this. So this is now 137. That's forced. And 7 has to be there. So there's... Whoops, what did I just do? So there's no 7 there. So these are 4 and 6. So that is the 2. This is a 4 and a 6, which makes sense for both the row and the column and all of that sort of... This is a 2 now. So this is a 4 and a 6. I'm getting 4 6s everywhere. This is a 4, 6. Ah, this is not the 8. This is the 8. And how do I resolve those 4 6s? By doing something with odd digits. That 14 cage. If I don't use a 9, then I've got 7, 5, which doesn't get me there. So there's a 9 in there. That's a 9, 5. And I know the order because of that 9. So that is a 5. That is a 9. That 5 makes that a 3. 3 goes with 6, and that's going to resolve all of the evens, isn't it? That's 4. That's 6. That's 4. That's 6. That's 4. That's 6. That's 4. That's 6. 4. 6. 4. 4, 6, 6, 4, 6, and 4, and that's all the blue digits done. 6 goes with 7, so that is not the 7. 7 goes up here now, so that is not 7 either. This is a 5, 9 pair, which means that's the 7, that's the 9, which means that's the 9 and that's the 7. Which means 7 goes in one of those two. Hopefully I'm not going too fast for people. I always worry when I'm finding stuff very quickly that people think I'm going too fast, but other times I worry I'm going too slow. But this one's just flowing. I think this is okay. And this is so much fun. These are 1, 3, and 5. And this one can't be 3 or 5. That's a 1. So that's a 3, 5 pair. So this is a 1, 9 pair, and that 9 gives me the order. That's the 1, that's the 9, that's the 3, that's the 1. This is now 5 and 7. 7s are lining up, so that has to be the 7, or I could have just looked in the column. That is not the 7, so that's the 1, 3, making that the 7. These are 1, 3, and 9. That's not 1 or 9, that's the 3, so there's no 3 in there, so this has to be the 3. 3 is in one of those two. I keep knocking the microphone, I'm sorry. This is a 5 because of the column. These are now 1, 3, and 9. That is a 1, 3, 9 triple, so that becomes the 7. That is not the 7. So cool. 7 cage. Screaming at me for ages. If it was in desperate need of anesthesia, I would have been guilty of something horrible. That 3 takes 3 out of those and puts a 3 into there. That 3 makes that a 5 and that a 3. Puts 5 in one of the, actually puts 5 right there because of all the 5s looking into the box. These are 1, 7, and 9. That can't be 1 or 7, so that is the 9. That is the 7. That is the 1. That is the 9. That is the 1. 5, 7, 1, 9. Ooh, okay. So these are 3. Hang on. No, wait. That is resolved. That's the 5. That's the 9. These are 3 and 7, and I can't put 3 there. That's 3. That's 7. That is not 3. This has to be 1 and 5. That 7 is looking up, making that 5, and that's 7. That's 1. That's 5. That is 9, and I put in a 1, and that is a moderately quick finish of that puzzle. I'm really sad I took that urgent phone call. I probably could have finished the puzzle and then responded, and it all would have been fine. I didn't know that this was going to be a fairly quick puzzle. Sorry, everyone. That was cool. How long was it? Under 20 minutes. Oops. Oh well. So thanks, Mavericks. That was a lot of fun. I had done a Battenburg before, I think, a very long time ago. It might have been in one of Ashish Kumar's packs, or maybe Akash Dulani's, but very, very fun. And yeah, I love these weird constraints where they're not weird, but I like these constraints where you get to think about things in a different way. So that was very, very cool. And because it's playing with parity and everything, there's been a lot of parity stuff I've seen since we released the Polarizing Sudoku pack. I'm not saying that the pack is responsible for that, but maybe. I think people are thinking about parity a lot since they've been solving and setting puzzles. So that's also very cool. So have a look at the Polarizing Sudoku Puzzle Pack. There'll be a link on the end screen to that one. And starting tomorrow, look forward to the Save the Galaxy puzzle adventure. I hope you will all enjoy that while I am on break. I probably won't be able to respond to comments and everything. I'll do my best, but I will have very limited access to stuff. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for supporting the channel. And I hope that you find what I do for you while I'm away is interesting and engaging, because they are really cool puzzles. Thanks everyone. I look forward to getting back to you in a couple of weeks. Until then, good luck with your solving.